Just the record, Fianna Fáil will be supporting the proposals to ratify the Status of Forces Agreement, which will facilitate the participation of Ireland in the EU battle groups. And I think what the Minister mentioned is correct. This is about providing the immunities, the privileges and the process for the joint cooperation that's happening anyway. And one thing I'd like to hear from the Minister, maybe if you're going to come back in, is obviously maybe explaining to the Dáil the problems that you have had and the department has had regarding the letters of exchange that have occurred, and in many ways was an Irish solution to an Irish problem for something that we've cooperated with over a long period of time. And in many ways what we're ratifying in this year is to try and provide for and protect Irish men and women who serve abroad and to enhance their training but also their protection on any foreign mission that they're on. And I think it's important that when Ireland plays a role in a crisis management situation, that we provide for the legal certainty for members of our defence forces. Just regarding in relation to the German battle group in 2016, I know the Germans questioned the letters of exchange and for the future 2020 group, so perhaps you could elaborate on that. And it was also mentioned that there was some reputational damage in that regard. This has been ongoing since the noughties, a long time before your own tenure in the department. Why is it taking so long going between departments, the Attorney General, to see this ratified when it is found for within the Lisbon Treaty, as you mentioned? And also regarding, I also welcome the fact that there's, I suppose, democratic legitimacy to this proposal and motion that we are providing for this in Dáil Éireann, even though it's currently covered within treaty law. So I know when Fianna Fáil was passed in government, we supported the development of the EU's rapid response capability in support of the United Nations, and this is in keeping with our country's long tradition and policy of support for the United Nations, multilateralism and the Security Council as the lead authority for the maintenance of international peace and security. And among the operations in which a battle group could be deployed are humanitarian operations, such as assisting, if requested, the authorities in a state which has been devastated by a natural or man-made disaster, where there is unlikely to be a UN Security resolution, as it may not involve any security situations. And I know when we were involved in 2006 with the Nordic battle group with the EU, that provided for a military response. But I think it's important that in the context of this, that the SOFA actually protects Irish troops that are abroad, and I welcome that. I also think it's important we put on record what I would see this is part of Ireland having an approach that reflects an active neutrality, something that I think is extremely important, and that an active neutrality reflects the reality that our sovereignty is secure, our democracy is functioning well, and that we are one of the most successful Western democracies in the world. And it also reflects the fact that we're at a juncture in our development where we have an enhanced opportunity to focus on what we have to offer other members of the international community. And active neutrality says that we have a duty to share our lessons of our experience of peace building on this island and peacekeeping on the international stage with others who may benefit from them. And obviously, as part of the triple lock and maintaining our status of neutrality, that we can offer an independent role in that basis, but we have to be involved to play a positive role. And ignoring the EU SOFA and ignoring cooperation doesn't achieve that. It's important that we are a bridge between the developed and the developing world, a global leader in the fight against poverty, disease and underdevelopment, and an intermediary and facilitator in peace processes. And in that regard, I think it's important that we shouldn't just put on record abandon the triple lock, specifically the requirement in the 1954, 1960 and 1993 Defence Acts that there be a UN mandate when sending a contingent of 12 or more armed Irish troops overseas. I think it's important that we reflect that Ireland's policy of military neutrality is a positive policy. We need to ensure that we continue a multilateral approach, continue the triple lock, but also that we cooperate with others so that we can defend our country and others against the threats of the 21st century that we see. and I think our participation in this allows that. And thanks to Count Corla for your time.